Hi you guys, I wanted to do a really quick video about some of the basics of law of attraction that we've been talking a little bit about, but let's dive in. So the first thing is when we're talking about attracting things into our life, people, experiences, feelings, emotions, maybe new jobs or relationships or wanting things to feel or be different in our life, the first thing that we want to do is set our intention. And what I'm talking about when I'm talking about setting my intention is I use 3 different ways to do it. Number 1 is visualizing, seeing what it is that I want, seeing what I want to bring into my life. Is it a certain way that I want to look or I want to feel, or a relationship that I want to have? Like, what is it that I want? And visualizing, seeing myself move into that and be that person, okay? So dropping the old persona, moving into a new persona if it's something around money, like a money story, right? So setting the intention to drop scarcity as a mentality, the persona of someone who lives in abundance looks different and feels different. So visualizing what that person might look like and in your mind's eye, and practicing that, setting your intention. The second part of setting your intention that I do is around words. So write affirmations. I write mantras into my journal. I am abundance. I have abundance. And then watching that play out into my life is the third step in setting your intentions, which is around your actions. So you're visualizing it, you're writing it, and then you're taking action around it. So someone who lives in abundance is very aware of their money flowing in, money flowing out. Money is energy. So what energy am I putting into the relationship? What energy? Is it healthy? Is it positive? Or is it negative and low vibe? Is it pulling it down? Or is it in flow? So setting your intention and then using those 3 different daily techniques, actions, words, and visions to have that happen. Now let's move into the second part. So that's kind of the first one, set your intentions and then thinking about the different ways that you can do that. Next part, allow it to come to you. So allowing is part of the feminine divine. Allowing is relaxation, resting, trusting, allowing things to come to you. The masculine way of getting what you want is by going and doing, is by acting, making all the plans, taking control. This is the way that most of us live. This is definitely the way that I lived. I'm always practicing allowing in terms of it wasn't my norm for so long. So to allow is to relax, is to trust that there's a greater divine universe, there's a greater source that is providing for me. It always has and it always will. So allowing it to come to you. And the third part of this practice, these practices that are super basic that you can start today, are to trust the time. It kind of goes next level from the allow. Trusting in the time that you are not the creator of the time frame of your life. Let me clear that up, because you actually are creating your time throughout your day for the most part and where you're putting your attention. But in terms of your life story, my life ending tomorrow, if that were to be the case, or letting go of the time frame. So I'm not putting on it like, okay, I'm going to improve my relationship with abundance, so I'm going to set intentions and take small actions, allow it to come, but it has to happen by next Friday. So the time trust, we have to release and let go of the time frame of it happening, more letting go of the how. So the masculine energy wants to come in and tell us how it's going to happen. The ego energy wants to tell us it can't happen, right? It's trying to shut down any possibility of that, because the soul work and the trusting can be very scary to the ego. And also the brain patterns, if you think about your neural pathways and the brain, the way that they're firing is same. And if you're coming and disrupting that with some new ways of being, new intentions, new visions, and you're putting small actions, sometimes the ego gets in the way of that and the thoughts get in the way of that, and they create made up stories that around how you're never gonna get it, right? So that can look like imposter syndrome or just shutting down that opportunity for you. So the third part of our basic practice is letting go of the time frame that we think it should be and letting go of the how. So an example of that, I've told this story before, but this is a very clear example, is that I had set the intention that I wanted to teach at American University, and I wrote on a little piece of paper, American University, and put it right next to my desk, stuck it right onto my computer, and set the intention, saw myself teaching there, and then relaxed, like sat back. I didn't stress about it. I didn't start doing a bunch of things. I didn't start sending resumes or calling around. I really just relaxed into it. I did set the intention. I did put it out into the universe or whatever you believe in, that would be a really fun and interesting thing. And about a week later, AU called me. Right? I went on my way staying in alignment. So being in alignment means that we are present, grateful, and we appreciate what is, what we have. We are not striving and craving and thirsty for more and more and more. We're really present with like, wow, this is an incredible day, relationship, work, whatever that you're experiencing, that you're in alignment, is being grateful and appreciative, more appreciative than grateful. It's a higher vibe when you're talking about attracting things to you. The appreciation is a deeper feeling when you say it. Try it and see how it feels. So when we appreciate and then we say, I'm eager for more, like I'm eager, I'm hopeful for the future and for staying in alignment and really living from that place where I can see clearly all that I have and that I'm taken care of in so many ways. So when we're letting go of the how, going back to the American University story, I didn't know how that was going to happen. I was not taking a lot of big action for it. The small action that I was taking sort of subconsciously and behind the scenes was just kind of putting it out there, putting it on the sticky and visualizing myself and thinking about like how that really would look in my life, just in terms of my day-to-day, but not how in terms of like actually sending a resume and things like that, which again, like this is not simple. So I want to have a deeper conversation about this and what the actions look like. And if the actions are in alignment, which means that you are appreciative and it does feel good, you can really have this back and forth relationship between the masculine and feminine energy, between attracting what you want and also taking action. Let me be clear. It's not saying I want to work at American and then like crossing my fingers and going and watching Netflix. Like the things and the work that I do in the world aligns very much with teaching at a university, health and wellness and well-being practices and stress management. Like it's all the actions that I take daily do line up with that kind of outcome eventually, right? End of that story was that after I got offered the position, it fell through and then they offered it to me again and I said, no, thank you, because I actually did not have space in my calendar. There was no blocks on that season calendar that I was willing to give up in order to make space for the American University dream. The reason I say that is because in Law of Attraction, it doesn't actually mean once you attract the thing that you have to go through with it or that you have to do it or that it's like if you don't do it, that it means you didn't attract it to you or bring that vibration. Like this world, when you start to play with this and see how fun it is not, it's just a totally different way of living, breathing, thinking. And I'm not, there's so many layers and it's so fun to talk about and dive into how to do this in your life in these ways when you're setting your intention, letting go of the time frame, letting go of the how, and allowing it to come to you. It's just like once you start practicing this in all different ways, you're gonna see it in really interesting and fun ways. And I'm having a really fun time playing around with it and kind of playing with like, okay, so last week I said, oh, I want to speak more. And then 5 minutes later, I got an email in my inbox that said a call for speakers in California at this fitness conference next year. And I thought, that would be so fun. I just attracted this email and maybe I'll set an intention. Maybe I'll fill out that speaker form instead of just deleting it and saying, I don't go to California. I don't have the money for that. I don't want to travel. Then I'll miss the kids. Like all these stories and all these kind of blocks. Like what if it were fun to go speak in California and bring the kids and kind of have that experience? So it's about being playful. It's about being intentional. It's about having fun with what you want in your life. And I think that one of the reasons why I don't really talk about this until we get further along is because if you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your life, if your body doesn't feel good, it is very challenging to live in that alignment of really having deep appreciation for what is and eagerness for more. So I want you to attune your body and then start working with some of this mind stuff. And again, you know what? Try it. Maybe your body's not feeling well. Maybe your sleep is off, or maybe you're just not in a really great place in one area of your life. And maybe trying this and trying these mindset practices and these law of attraction practices might be really fun for you. So let me know what you think. Remember, the first one is set your intention, actions, words, and visions. And when I'm saying actions, I really do mean small actions and or life actions. Like sort of, I always think about it as like head down. If I keep my head down on my work and my strengths and what I'm doing and I stay focused, I'm aligning myself in my work and in my vibration so that I'm feeling good and that I'm attracting more of that, like the good juju people. Allow it to come to you. Allowing it means rest and digest, deep soul care, and then the trusting in time and letting go of the how. One of the things that I've noticed is that I have the best, like the women that I get to spend time with and talk to, whether it's coaches or people on our team or people in the neighborhood, like I just noticed that the more and more I've been practicing this and saying, like there was a time when I said like I'm not surrounded, I really felt like I wasn't surrounded by anyone who understood this and who wanted to live this way or try these practices. And the more that I set the intention and then just allowed it, I'm noticing they're all coming in. People are messaging me on Facebook, hey, I heard you're doing this cool thing, want to jump on the phone? And then I'll have this like amazing conversation with a woman in Maryland or California or Virginia or Connecticut or whatever. And it's like, once I started to see that I'm actually surrounded by these awesome, amazing, life-affirming women, I started attracting more of them. And now I will say that I've really shifted over the past 6 months where I spend less and less energy, and actual face-to-face time with people who are not aligned in that way. So this is my short and sweet, more to come. Let me know what questions you have. Take care.